Hey y'all, this is Tammy with Front Porch Finance. And before we get started, please do me a favor and like this video, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss any future videos. This is where I talk about things that a lot of folks avoid and every family needs to hear. Okay, let's talk. You know, nobody ever plans to forget where they're going when they're driving. Nobody gets in the car and says, well, today feels like a good day to get lost 3 miles from my house. But it happens, and when it does, it rattles you in a way that you don't forget. I've had people tell me, Tammy, I've driven this road for 30 years, and all of a sudden, I didn't recognize a thing. That moment, that's not just confusion, that's fear. And because in that moment, you don't think about dementia as a disease. You're thinking about losing control. And I want you to hear me clearly. Dementia does not start with just forgetting names. It starts with little cracks. There's missed turns and wrong exits and pulling into a parking lot and sitting there thinking, why did I come here? And most folks, we just brush it off because sometimes it is things like, I'm just tired, or I got too much on my mind, or everybody forgets things. And bless our hearts, we're real good at explaining away all these warning signs. But I've worked in the healthcare industry most of my adult life, and I've watched this disease show up quietly, and then it just takes over loudly. And I've seen what happens next. The driving stops, and then somebody has to quit working, and somebody has to stay home, and the savings, they'll start leaking out. A little bit at first, and then all of a sudden it's like a flood and they're gone. And that's when families realize a really painful realization. They planned for retirement, but they didn't plan for what if retirement never looks like they imagined. The hard truth is that most people don't want to hear this. They don't want to hear that Medicare doesn't pay for long-term care. Health insurance does not replace lost income. And Social Security alone is not going to stretch very far when someone needs care for years. So families start pulling from their 401k, their savings, their home equity, and eventually even all those options run out. And it's not because they were irresponsible, but because they didn't know that there was another way and they were just doing the traditional route. And this is where the living benefits come in. I'm not talking about death benefits. I'm talking about protection while you're still here. That alternative to that very expensive long-term care insurance. It's called living benefits. And living benefits are built into certain life insurance policies, including the indexed universal life. And that allows you to access money if you're diagnosed with something like dementia or a critical illness or a chronic illness, or even terminally ill. That way you can help pay for care. You can replace that lost income, you can protect your spouse, and you can keep your kids from having to choose between being your caregiver and going bankrupt. This is not insurance talk. This is peace of mind talk. I have sat across from families who said, I wish we'd have known about this sooner. I've sat across from families who've said, thank God we planned. The difference was not intelligence, it's just simply awareness. So I just want to ask you something very gently here. If one day you forget where you're going, who's going to pay the bills? If one day you can't drive anymore, who's going to take off work? If care becomes necessary, is it coming out of love or is it coming out of desperation? That's the gap. And my job is not to scare you, but it's to shine a light on the gap before you fall into it. No one plans to forget where they're going, but you can plan for what happens if you do. And if this video made you uncomfortable, that's okay. That means you're paying attention. If you want to talk through your options and learn how living benefits work, or if an IUL makes sense for your family, reach out to me. That's what I do. Look, this is Front Porch Finance. We just have real conversations about real life and real planning for things we pray never happen. but we're going to prepare for it anyway. Thanks.